Hey, it's Jenny B from vitalitybyjenny.com, and today I wanted to share with you a new book that I'm reading. Well, it's not really new. It was written in the 1970s, I believe, but it's called The Secret Life of Plants. And it's by Peter Tompkins and Christopher Bird. And if you have not yet had the chance to read this book, I highly suggest it. I am only a third of the way through, but I was so impressed, so blown away by this book and what's inside of it that I had to share it with you guys. I had to see if any of you had read this and your thoughts on it. So some of the interesting things that are in this book, it goes immediately, dives right in to very crazy studies about plants and things that I can't believe that we have never heard of. But in all of these studies, they have proven that plants actually respond emotionally similar to the way that we respond. And so even though they don't have a nervous system and eyes and, ways to speak and that sort of thing, they still respond similar to what we would think a mammal or an animal or a human would respond. So one of the interesting things that I can remember is that, they would hook these plants up to like a lie detector test, with the way that they would have electrodes on a human and they would measure their response from certain thoughts and certain, saying certain things to them or having them answer certain questions. They could measure the response and it would show on a graph, the type of response that the person was having. And so anyway, this one guy got the idea to hook it up to his plant, so he did. And they found that even just having the thought that he was going to hurt the plant made the plant respond. So they did this with all different kinds of things and, having all different types of experiments to show, the emotions and the responsiveness of plants, and that they are actually, we know that plants are alive, but they are alive in a way that, in a much deeper way than what we've even imagined. And so far in the book, they haven't gone into exactly what's happening, and I don't know if they even will. But the way that it seems to me is that these plants are actually tapping into a way of connecting with this world that's even better than the way that we do, that our five senses actually limit our connection and our ability to perceive what's going on around us. Our five senses kind of actually limit that, and we kind of have to because we have a brain, I think. And so if we were to actually take in all of the information that was around us, it would probably be a little bit too much for us because we think about things and then that sort of thing. Whereas plants don't have all of these senses, so they have maybe one major sense that perceives everything around them. So even though plants don't have eyes, they can still pick up who different people are. So like in one of the experiments, they had two plants in a room and they had 5 subjects, and one of the 5 subjects randomly was chosen to go in and kill one of the plants, and none of the testers knew who one of the 5 was, and he did it in secret. He went in, killed one of the plants, uprooted him and that sort of thing, and then they all, the testers walked each individual person into the room with the other plant that had seen it. They'd walked all of these people in there, and the plant only responded to the one that had actually done the murder. And that's pretty crazy if you think about it. It felt crazy to me, but it's not crazy. We know that plants are alive and that we are connected to plants in a deeper way than what's really kind of put out there in society. So anyway, this has got me thinking. And so I wanted to also get your thoughts on this. And so if you haven't read this book, I highly suggest you order it, start reading it. I would love to talk about it with everybody. And there's actually some very far-reaching benefits that I can't believe have not been explored. I can believe it, but I still, on the other hand, can't believe it. But another experiment that he did in this book, and I haven't looked into this any further to see, what all was going on, but if it's true, it's very, very, very impressive. So anyway, in this other experiment, they picked 2 leaves off of the same plant and they put them down on the table. And every day, one of the leaves would get loving, kind thoughts sent to it, and you would say, you know, I wish that you would stay alive. I really want you to stay alive, and send him all kinds of loving thoughts. And then you would just ignore the other one. And the one that you wished to stay alive actually did stay green and supple for months. I think it was 2 months that they had done this. And the other one, of course, was dry and brittle and brown. And they showed on other cases just how different it was for a plant, the way they responded, when you just go in and eat the plant or pick the plant or whatever, without sending it any good thoughts. You know, the plant responded in a terrible way, similar to the way that, you know, it reminded me of the way that we kill animals to eat them now. And instead, they also showed that instead, if you show them love and appreciation for the fact that they're about to die, to become part of you, then their whole reaction to the process is completely different. And not only that, but they also showed that if you paid attention to your plants, you can actually help them grow even better and produce more. They were talking about crop yields, producing way more than normal if you just give them a lot of loving thoughts and give them your attention. And so although we are a bunch of plant munchers in this community, I think that it was a good wake-up call for me to remember to give the plants as much respect as what I do the animals. So of course I, cannot imagine killing an animal and eating it for my sake, unless I was under dire circumstances, of course. But in this world, we have plenty of plant foods to eat. There's no reason for us to eat animal foods, and of course it's not beneficial for us to eat animal foods. So of course I have a lot of respect and a lot of empathy for our animal friends and the way that they are raised and tortured and that sort of thing for food. But it's easy to overlook plants, because they don't respond, they don't have eyes, you can't see them running away or crying or any of that stuff. But it's interesting to think that they actually do respond in this way. They do have, more life to them than maybe we're giving them credit for. And so just a reminder to try always be thankful for the exchange process that's going on when you are consuming food. Always being thankful for the person who is behind your food, the food itself, everything that goes into growing it. And having that sort of a relationship with your food is going to completely change the entire process of you absorbing what is in that food. This is definitely something that I'm going to start doing more of, and like I said, I have a newfound respect for plants, and I can't wait to get a new plant buddy and do some tests with my plant. Definitely sending him a lot more love than I used to with all my plants, but I'm definitely going to do it more now. Okay, so I love you guys, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this. If you've read it, please let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that it's crazy. I don't care. All of these thoughts are welcome below. I would love to hear what you have to say. Okay, I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.